people. A2TP podcast, episode 59. We are back, and we better than other people. We are back. We've been through so much, but we back. Episode 59. We are back in the building. A2TPodcast.com. You can find us there. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Anchor. You can find us on Breaker. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Google Podcasts. You can find us on YouTube. Radio Public too. You can find us on all those platforms. Next time you should do it because you be remembering. You can find us on all those platforms, smiling in y'all faces, talking shit, coming to y'all every week doing what we do. So check us out on those platforms, please. It's Facebook too. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Talk amongst your friends, talk amongst us. We love the engagement. So get to one of them platforms and chop it up. It's your boy International Walt in the building.
Hi, it's your girl Tosh. The co-hostess with the mostest. But tonight my mostest is tired. I'm tired. But I'm still here. I'm still
She like Celia in the color purple. I'm tired. Just tired.
But I'm still here. I show up.
You good?
I'm good.
You sure?
You good?
Yeah. Well,
How are you?
Pooped. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
No! How are you?
I don't like you. You're such a bad actor. Would you ever audition for like a part in a real?
I'm too real. They don't want me.
Okay, well, I don't know what that means.
I'm too real
so
for acting.
You're too real to play a different part?
Yeah, I'm too real.
Okay.
It's like, hell yeah, I would audition.
I don't know if you could be a good actor because you are always yourself, which is a good thing. I
was joking when I just said that, though.
But it's true. I can't see you playing a different part. Like, it's weird. Like, I can't see you.
I could play a Mike.
But would you play a Mike who's like Walt? Or would you be able to play a Mike that's like a...
I could play a Mike like a Mike Lowry.
I'm doing fine. You asked how am I? I will say today I'm a 9. I'm a 9.
Nueve.
Yes. if we included body in our, our evaluation. Well, my body might be at I won't say a 2, probably like a 5, because at 40 plus. Your feet hurt, your back hurt, your legs hurt, your eyes hurt, I don't want to say your jaws hurt.
Jaws?
I was going to say
that seemed kind of
to
the left.
I didn't mean that's
why jaws hurt.
That's why I paused.
A little sexual.
I'm just saying you start to get older and you hurt. But anyway, body's not included. Mentally, I'm a 9.
Okay.
Doing great. Things are happening for us. I'll let him share the news. But things are happening for us, and I just feel really blessed. Sometimes you feel so blessed and so good. I don't know if that's imposter syndrome, where you feel like, damn, why me, God? But you're still grateful.
I had it for the past 2 weeks, heavy.
Yeah, so that's part of it. But overall, I feel good mentally and not. Work is...
I meant to ask you, how was work your first day back? Was it chaotic? Was it hectic? Was it 6,812 emails, or was it?
It was
35.
No, it was a lot. It was over 3,000. And guess what? I'm not trying to things that haven't been answered just haven't been answered. There was one thing that came to me I went back to work Tuesday, and somebody sent me something and asked if I had hey, did you send me this email for the report next week? I don't know if I missed it. I just came back. So nope, I didn't send it. You didn't miss it. The person who was following up, who was handling my job, hopefully they did it. But, it wasn't too much of that. People did try to inundate me with some meetings, and I was I did one of your numbers, ho. Let's break this up a little bit. But, overall, it was not a bad day. I realized that, work is work. I thought I was going to feel some real vigor and enthusiasm to get back to it. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful to have a job to go back to, I am still looking forward to the day where God allows me to work for you full time.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
And it's coming. I feel like that is God's plan for me.
Okay.
God's plan. And I ain't knocking nobody with a 9 to 5. A 9 to 5 then took care of us very well.
It's hard working. You couldn't work for me.
I
you
probably
could be my assistant.
Nope.
Nope. You know why you couldn't be my assistant? Because you can't do what you ask for when you ask to do it. You do it when you want to.
No, you're a micromanager.
No, I'm a macro manager. If I know I got a good ask my guys at work. Ask Danny, am I a micromanager? He says nope. As long as you get it done, he don't care.
Well, with me, it's like
bother.
you have to tell me. You ask me to do something, and then you remind me, and then
You're forgetful. I asked you to do something, you just skip that gap. Like, why would I have to remind you or tell you again? Because you let time go. Babe, can you do this? Sure, I'll do it. I'll take care of it. And then you do a million other things, and then a day or two go by. It's, babe, did you take care of that thing? Oh shit, yeah, right, babe, I'll do it.
Sometimes it's on my list. And then if you didn't say, babe, can you do this by Friday? In my mind, I might have had it on my list to do Saturday.
It's no list.
When there is a list.
No, it's not. When you say, babe, Jay, can you do something? Walt, can you do something? I try to fit it in immediately. I do it when you ask me to. That's the whole problem. When I ask you to do something, why can't you do it when I ask you to? Like, babe, can you post this? Or, babe, can you do this for me? Sure. I'll do it right now.
What if I'm doing something else?
Then stop it and do it right now because this is more important.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so stop what you're doing. Take 5
minutes.
So
everything that you asked me to do is more important than whatever it is I'm doing?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you come to me and ask me to do something, I usually stop, get up, or come downstairs, or come where you need me to be and do it. So I'm just saying if I ask to do something, it only takes you 5 minutes. It's not like what I'm asking you is going to take you an hour.
I feel like from a work
especially when it comes to this.
I feel like from a work aspect, and I use this mentality, and I tell people this all the time. You ask me to do something, and I'm not talking about you specifically, I'm just speaking, and y'all give y'all feedback and what your perspective is. You ask me to do something, and so if you give me 5 things to do, something has to be prioritized. Everything can't take priority because then guess what? The list just ends up in the order that it started.
How about you just do it simple? Like, to me, it's simple in my brain. If somebody gives me 5 things to do or tells me 5 things to do, I'm going to do them in the order that they asked.
Okay, which makes sense. But sometimes they'll be like, did you do this? Yes. Well, did you do this? No, because I was doing this. I can't do them both at the same time.
That's not me. That's not me. I simply ask for something, and then I would like for it to be done in a timely manner, which preferably within the hour that I asked you. Like, I understand if you on a toilet or on a phone call or something like that, or you busy doing some personal shit for you. But if it's like, babe, I need you to do this. It's like, all right, in the next 15 minutes, babe, what was that thing I need you to that you needed me to do? Because I want to knock it out so you don't have to remind me, so that I don't forget. Because I know how my brain gets. And it could be tomorrow, and I could have just slipped my mind.
I'll say this. When positions become available for your company, give me the opportunity to interview, and then at least give me the chance. Don't just count me out. That's all I'm saying. In. I'll put an application in.
Go to the website, put an application in.
Do I get any preferential treatment? No nepotism?
No. What you mean? You can't say that kind of stuff on camera.
Nepotism?
Yeah, no preferential treatment. Nepotism is nepotism. Preferential treatment, that's damn near lawless.
Okay, I mean, it happens all the time. I mean, is it something I can do to get the job, to guarantee that I get the job?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You goddamn right it's something you can do. That's the way. That's what's wrong with the world now, the way the men's work in the workplace.
That's a shame.
You goddamn right it's something you can do.
I do not condone doing extra favors.
Since you asked, I don't know me too me. She asked me.
I do not condone doing extra favors, and I've never offered anything extra.
She just
to
offered
get the
her
job.
boss, a work boss, some extra something curricular activity. It's like, you'll do something strange with some change.
All right, so mentally I'm a 9. Work I'm like a 7. Work I'm an 8. I'll say that because I'm not at a 7 yet. They can take me there, but I'm not gonna let them. Work I'm an 8. Finances I'm a 9. God has been good to us. God has blessed us. And one thing I feel strongly about, and it's kind of dual. There's some duality to it in my mind because I feel like to whom much is given, much is required. And not to say that you should do good deeds or bless people with the mindset that, oh, I'm gonna do this because I know I'll get blessed. But but it is part of it where this is what I'm supposed to do so that I will continue to be blessed. And it may not always be a tick for tack exchange, like, oh, I bless this person, tomorrow I'm gonna get a blessing.
No.
But and blessings show up in different ways. But I strongly believe that we are not blessed with anything simply for ourselves. Any blessings that we receive,
you're supposed to pay it forward.
Exactly. So
that's the ideology in blessings, like pay it forward. If somebody do something nice for you, do something nice for somebody else. It's supposed to fall on your heart, whether a person gets a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of whatever that they can give to somebody else. If it falls on your heart to do it, then you should do it.
Yeah. How are you?
I am.
No. How are you?
That was a good one. I'm good. I'm delightful. I'm good. Yeah. I'm
delightful. I like that. Let me write that.
I have been stressed to.
You didn't write my numbers down.
I did.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't. I wrote mine down. What you got?
I said, well, what's you tell me the order because you know he'll. Mental. I'm a 9.
Work.
8.
Finance.
9. Okay.
9. I'm 9s across the board. So I'm
good.
a 9 on mental. Lately I've been stressed to the gills. We've been maxed out, fatigued a little bit, but shit has gotten better. Work, I am 9 too. Nueve. I got good people. They handling business for me. I handle a couple phone calls here and there, but I'm good there. Finances, like you said, God has blessed us. So we're good there. Wows and woes.
No, I'll let you start. What are your wows and woes for this week?
My wows are, I can start with wows or woes.
I would say start with your woes and end up on a good note.
All right, my woes is I and my wife just spent the last 9 days living in a hotel. That's the woe. We was without an address, no home, lost in the streets, and we just had...
You gassing it.
It's like, nah. We was lost without a home.
No, we weren't lost. We didn't have an address.
We didn't have an address, and we was in the hotel.
We're in limbo. Residential limbo.
In a little mini suite for 9 days out of a couple duffel bags because we sold our house. And
what's your wow?
My wow is that I bought a house. We sitting in it now. And when I say that, I don't need any accolades from anybody else but her. But me being a fugitive 2 years ago, me shortly after that having 7 pieces of ID in my name, having a passport, being able to fly and go places and take trips that I never took before, to a year later to me buying a house. God is good. He is great. He is the reason why these things happen. And I've never been, this isn't a God show, this isn't a Christian show, but I've always promised him in my head when good things like this happen for me and people want to know how I got there and how I did it, that I would say his name. So it's all because of God. And like I said, I'm not looking for no accolades from nobody else, but it means something to me. And I want to come to the table and speak about that. So this situation means something to me. The fact that my wife used to carry us in the beginning of our relationship with her name and the things that she used to do for us. And she no longer has to do that no more. So it's a blessing to us. It means a lot to me. It's taken a lot for me not to be emotional now. But yeah, we bought a house and I was able to sign my name. So that was big for me. And we in it now. We got boxes everywhere. We just moved in this week. And shit is great. Shit is great. We got a dope house that I love since I saw it. And yeah, I'm flabbergasted. Speak on it.
So my woe for this week, it wasn't so much just being in a hotel. You know, I was down for 6 weeks, and my baby, you know, he held me down. He took care of me during that 6 weeks. We were going through like this house selling and buying process. The ball got rolling immediately after my surgery, and he was not literally carrying me out the house, but just about like slow walking me out the house times that we had to leave and go on showings. You know, I couldn't be up for a long time, and you know, we had to kind of just pace ourselves for my sake. And well, I say all that to say that 6 weeks, you know, we were good. You know, then we was at the hotel for the last 9 days, and we had a bad. We did good for that 6 weeks. Like we really got along and everything. And then during our stay at the hotel, you know, we had a bad blow up, and I don't even know. I'm happy. You know, we hadn't been to therapy in a few weeks, so I'm looking forward to having a session. Not to say that necessarily will come up. It may or may not, but I would be. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm stuttering because a lot of thoughts are going through my head.
You need to get it out.
Long story short, we had a bad blow up, and that was the woe for me because, you know, I just don't like when there's tension between us, and I was disrespectful and, you know, just in a moment of anger, and I don't like to be that way with anybody, but more than anybody in the world with my husband. So, you know, but, you know, we're better now, but that was just the woe of the week. You know, long story short.
Wow.
My wow is we bought a house. and not just that, like, it's so exciting. It's just so exciting. And I find as I get older, this happened with our wedding, like as much as I don't want to say control freak, a controlling person that I am, in moments of like a big thing, my brain kind of gets into like a freeze mode. Yeah. I realize
your fight or flight response kicks in, and you.
But I freeze. Yeah. I don't fight or flight. I freeze. It's like I need a moment when it's too much going on. It's almost like it's like don't rush me. But
you got a glitch in the matrix then.
Yeah,
like you power down.
Yeah, like I realized that about
like the iPhone. You go on low power mode.
It is.
You get yellow.
Yeah. And during this process, I realized like I was excited, even though it may not have shown all the time because it was just so much going on and my brain was so crowded. But the most exciting part for me was, to piggyback on what he's saying, I remember when we bought our first house almost 14 years ago. Like he said, financially, we have always done it together. But in terms of name, credit, legality, I had to hold us down. So I had to make sure that, you know, my credit was good and my finances was good to be able to substantiate the life that we wanted. Because no matter how much money he had and he was contributing on signing the papers, he wasn't included. It was just me. So now here we are, almost 14 years later, selling our first house, you know, buying a new home and being able to sit at that table and me sign, he sign, me sign, he sign, like back and forth. It felt so good because I remember the first time, and like I remember like the realtor saying like calling you by a different name and like, oh, you know, you sure you don't want to get in on this process? And me feeling so defensive, like, no, like, we good. We don't, like, it is what it is. We doing this. Like, no, stop asking him. He's not, you know, we're not doing the mortgage together. It's just on me. Stop asking him. Because one, we knew that he couldn't. And two, I know that can hurt my baby's feelings at that time.
Yeah, what you did, it made me feel like I wasn't a part of the process, or, you never made me feel like anything wasn't mine. But just feeling like I wasn't a part of the process. Like, you've always been inclusive in that way, probably because of my situation and because we love each other.
And not only that, because it was like,
Yeah.
on
I'm
paper.
not saying like you was doing me a favor. I'm
Right.
not saying it like that. I'm just saying you always been inclusive like that. But me as a man, I'm supposed to take care of you, and I'm supposed to make sure you got a place to stay. And it was like I felt like you was making sure I had a place to stay and keeping me safe. So I didn't feel like a part of that whole process 14 years ago, and now being able to identify myself and say my name and give my name and run my credit and run my social security number is like, it just makes me smile like I'm 5 years old. Because it's like I'm doing things that, I never did before, that I used to just watch other people do and think to myself, damn, when or if I'm going to get a chance to do that. Or am I going to be able to buy my wife a house? Am I going to be able to buy her a car? Or, shit like that, because you bought us so many cars, you bought us a house. So it felt great, and I was honored to return the favor.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and the process, like we didn't like the selling process. Yeah, we bought a house before, she bought a house before, but it's like we didn't ever sell a house. And then we was like, okay, so she got out of surgery, she's down, can't really move, but we put our house up for sale, and we think it's going to be, some time, week 2, maybe she'll get some chance to rest, get herself together. It was like, bam, we put our house up, and we got 13 showings, and we got to get out our house.
But 13 showings within like 3 days.
Yeah, and we got to get out our house like 3-4 a day at different times, starting at like 1 to like 6 in the evening.
One day, and like he said, you're not supposed to, this is just for anybody who hasn't been through the process of selling a house. When your house is being shown,
it's got to be a certain way.
Yeah.
So we had to go through and clean and
not that a house was, but pictures. It's kind of like staging, right?
Yeah, you got to take down all your pictures in your house, anything that reminds a person. Now, you're supposed to do this. We've seen houses where
they didn't.
Yeah, it just wasn't. Now, we could keep our clothes and shit in the closet, but any pictures or personal shit, anything worth anything, your valuables, you got to put up. So we kind of had to store shit in our house and hide shit and tuck shit underneath.
Make it look
here.
Like we live here, but we don't really live here. But I was about to say, you're not supposed to be there when people come to see it. So we would leave, go to the store, maybe go get something to eat or whatever.
Mind you, shouldn't even be outside. She shouldn't even be moving like that. Yeah.
Some days. One day we just drove down the street and it was a playground on our old block. We just sat at the playground, just like, let these people go in and like, let's wait for them to leave.
Yeah. Because
we was tired of driving around. I wanted to get back in the house. I think that was like the second week after my surgery. So we've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I healed. There was no problems. I had another small procedure after that, but everything was all good. And it was, and I know on him mentally worrying about me, taking care of me, but I'm still going through this process, like
which I was going through for the first time. So my stress level is here because I don't know what to expect. People are asking me for stuff and talking to people on the phone, and got to tend to her, and I'm doing laundry, I'm going to the market, like it just was a lot. And then we
don't go to the market no more.
Oh my God, she's gonna get to that. Then we stopped going to therapy. So our therapists out there, shouts out to you. We miss you. We can't wait to see you and talk to you. But we kind of just bunkered down to do our own thing, handle our life business. That's just how we move. We didn't want to tell people. We didn't want, people to be in our business. We just wanted to do our thing and move a certain way and let y'all know when it was over with.
Sometimes we couldn't do therapy because we couldn't be in our house. And it was like,
we had showings on Saturday morning, starting at like 10, and
God.
So it was like we can't do therapy because, I guess we could have
done it from the car or something, but yeah.
Again, our therapist would have been like, "What the hell y'all doing? What's going on with y'all?"
Yeah.
But that's just the way we move, and we handled our life business, and it was great. But the process was just like, we didn't know that our house would sell as fast. So we thought we was going to put our house up for sale, and be able to look for a house and kind of line the dates up for closing around the same time. But didn't happen like that. House went up for sale, 13 showings, offer comes
Was it
through.
only 13? I felt like it
No, it was like
16
something. Oh, it was like probably like 16. Got an offer, like the offer, house sold. And it's like, bam, we got to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got to move. It ain't us no more.
Yeah.
And we had to start that process while she still was mending and healing and can't lift 10 pounds. And I'm bringing home boxes and not necessarily being deceitful, but being us together, being elusive amongst our families and friends and things like that. You know, just trying to keep it tight to, you know, see the process through. But it was crazy.
It was crazy. It was a lot. One thing I will say, I'm so happy that we utilized our resources. Like, we've moved. This is our 5th address together.
You sure?
Yeah, this is our 5th address together. I don't know if it's our final, but we gonna be here for a while. We might have one more in us that'll be like...
It'll be West Coast.
Yeah.
It'll be changing coast if we move again.
But that's some year, you know, if that's in God's plans. Yeah, so I would say we've moved in the past, and I will tell y'all, when, like he said, when you see ride or die in the dictionary, you'll see my face, because we have always held it down together. I'm talking about moving furniture, moving stoves, washers, dryers, sofas, refrigerators. I will say in the past, once or twice, we had one or two people help, like with 1 or 2 items, not with like a whole move, but it has always been us packing,
floor
moving,
tiles.
And oh my, you remember I carried 16 boxes of floor tiles for you? 16 boxes of, what are they, 12 by 12? Mm-hmm. 12 by 12 floor tiles. So if y'all know a little bit about construction, even a little bit, y'all know I put in some work. But I will say, we've been in this 21 years almost. We are 21 years older. We don't got that in us anymore. Nope. And I thank God that we have the resources, meaning financially, and this ain't about, you know, bragging about no money or anything, but I'm grateful that we have the resources so that we can hire people. So yeah, you can hire people to pack. You know that?
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. Like, I don't need you packing my panties. Or, you know, but we packed our own stuff, but we did hire movers. That was, I just can't even imagine doing the amount of work that they did. And it's a costly process, but the convenience far outweighs the money. And I will say, we got a couple quotes, and there were some quotes that were, you know, I'll say if our quote was here, there were some quotes that was here, and it was like, wow, that's crazy. But when you
think about it,
the work they put in.
Yeah, and like, you gotta be like family to ask somebody to move.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta talk to somebody every fucking day, hang out, like do shit together to be like, yo, can you help me move? Like, you can't just, that's a whole person's day. They can fuck they back up, they ankle, like cut their hand, like it's a ton of shit happen when you moving. And the accumulation of 13 years in one house. Not that we were hoarders, not by a long shot, but man, oh man,
just
over
even
13
pictures,
years,
yes.
like you just accumulate crazy shit, like just shit everywhere.
You
like,
realize, like, we have a life together.
And then when you gotta like get all of it together to get out, and it's like, damn, like this is never gonna stop. Like, it's just stuff after stuff after stuff. And it does make you, I did have that moment for a second where you like, because we had to do a lot of things to our house. Like, there's some stuff you got to bring up the code with, you know, GFI outlets in certain places and things like that. And we had to do a little bit of work. So like, there's stuff to be done. I lost my point. What was I talking about before that?
About accumulation of things over years. And living a life together. You realize, you know, we weren't hoarders, but This is what I mean. 20
Totally.
years later, like, we older now. You lose memory.
Yeah, totally blanked out.
But one thing I will say, maybe this will jog your memory. You know, when we bought our house 13 and a half years ago, a little more than a half, almost 14 years ago, we completely, well, I'll say we, because like I said, I carried them towels, we did sheetrock, we completely rehabbed our house. One thing that made me happy was...
Oh, sorry, not to cut you off. but I want to lose it again. When we got done, you know how you feel like, damn, the rooms are empty, and you haven't seen it that way in a while, and it's like, damn, dude, the house look nice now. Like, I want to sell my house. Like, I done did all this stuff to her. I cried too.
I didn't think that I was going to.
I cried too.
Because again, it was so much going on.
Too, yeah.
I really didn't have a moment to be still. But in that moment when, like he said, when our last, not even because our last day there.
Last 2 days.
Yeah, because we did go back.
Yeah.
And seeing it empty, going room to room, and thinking about all the things that happened in the room.
Everything in that house that this person loved, we did.
Yeah.
So every wall, every sheetrock, every ceiling, every crown molding, every piece of granite, like
that was my baby's work.
Yeah, like all the hardwood floors, like everything that they like, we did in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And it just felt good that, like she said, somebody loved our baby as much as we did. And
not only that, it made, like, yes, that made me feel good. Because at first, like you said, putting the house up for sale, you don't know how fast or how long it's going to take to sell. But when we started seeing so many people wanting to see it, it was like, oh, they like our baby. And then we got an offer like that. It was like, somebody wants it. Like, they want our baby. But what for me, when the house was empty, going room to room, I'm not saying this like in any kind of dark way, but like, you know, when people say like at the end of your life, you see like it flash. So it's not the end of our life, of course, but I was just thinking about so many things that happened in the room. Like in the office, you remember when my bird Lupe used to come visit me? And you know, be tapping on the window, and I thought about when you put the tents together for the kids and them sleeping over, how much they love that.
In the hallway, she chased a bat down in the hallway. We got a bat come from the attic in the old house.
The most traumatic.
I leave from work and I'm going to work in Princeton from where we used to live, so
which is like
45-50 minutes away. I'm pulling in the parking lot. Just got to Princeton. She calls crying on the phone. It's a bat in the house.
Well, no, let me pause. 6 months prior to that.
Oh, Jesus Christ with the bat.
I had told him one day, during the day, the bat flew through the house. And I was in the dining room and I freaked out, almost jumped out the window because I was stuck in the dining room. I'm on the phone with my sister. He comes home with his former coworker, look all over. They don't find the bat. They think I'm crazy. And now, 6 months, go ahead.
The bat was in the house, hanging up on the door trim.
After it flew over me while I was sleeping.
So she FaceTimed me and was like, can you get the bat? I'm like, babe, I'm an hour away. Like, I just got here. I can't turn around and come get a bat. Like, you might not be there when I get there. And scared as she was, she cried and she buckled down, but she got this quilt, this sheet, and I told her to hold it up on FaceTime and run down there and grab it. And she said no like 75 times. And then on the 76th time, she was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And tears dried up. The eyes got big.
I went temporarily crazy.
Her teeth was in it then. She was like, this bat getting out of here.
I will tell y'all
this. She ran down the hallway on her tippy toes and grabbed this bat and the sheet, wrapped it up, and was like, I got the bat! I got the bat!
Let me tell y'all, one of my biggest fears, like I like dogs, you know, I like to go to the zoo, that kind of stuff. I don't like animals. Like, I just feel
Vermin.
Yeah, but even other animals, because I just feel like you never know. Like, I'm not going to be the person that goes to Malaysia and be in a cage and pet the tiger. Nope, never me. I just feel like you never know.
Oh. You had a big ass 12-foot python on you before that I told you never again do.
I was 20 years old.
You also, we went to the wine tasting years ago, and we don't drink, but we went to a wine tasting.
Oh, and I wanted to get in there with the wolf.
And you wanted to get in a cage with a wolf.
Well, okay, now at 42, how old am I?
41.
At 41, my mind doesn't work like that anymore. So when it comes to animals, I just feel like you never know what you may remind them of or something that may tick them off. That's why I don't like anybody's dogs either. Like, no shade to dog lovers. You know, I have a couple friends, Crystal and Misty, they have like pit bulls and stuff. I'm never like gonna be around your dog. Sorry, if I'm at your house or something, I just can't do that. Physically, I can't do that. I wouldn't be comfortable. So I think I like to say my biggest fear though is mice. Mice, rats. I just can't. Like, physically, I get sick. Like, I just can't do it. And a bat just reminds me of that kind of animal. Bats, squirrels, mice, they all the same kind of animal to me. When I went and grabbed this bat, it was so warm, like a real live animal. I just remember squeezing it, and it almost like you don't want to squeeze it too hard because you realize, oh my God, it's so warm, it's alive. But then it's like, oh my God, I hate you because you're in my house and I want to kill you. Like, I didn't kill it. I didn't like beat it to death or anything like that. Like he said, wrapped it up in a sheet real tight, like it could not get out this sheet. Took it in the backyard and I laid a shovel over it. Like, you gonna do what you do with it, but you ain't getting out of this. But I didn't have it in me to like beat it with the shovel or anything like that. I couldn't bring myself to do that.
You're not a killer.
No, I'm definitely not a killer, but I don't like
Well, how
animals.
did we get to that conversation with the bat?
We was just talking about memories in the house. Yeah, just memories in the house.
But we had a lot of memories and we got really emotional. 2 days we was there, and when it was like empty, and we were like cleaning, mopping floors, it was like, wow, like we lived here 13 years. Like, we got so many memories of every room.
Yeah.
Like when we had the living room switched, when we first moved
the
there.
paint colors.
Yeah, like when we first moved there, the living room was where we had it, but it was different. The TV was on a different wall, and the paint colors, the steps that I did. The chevron stuff, the woman who bought the house really, really liked it. So,
if you seen me post pictures on Instagram on our steps, you'll notice the artwork that goes up the steps. Initially, he and our realtor thought that it should be painted because they were like, some people might not like it. I'm like, no, I absolutely don't think you should paint this, because my thing is, if somebody doesn't like it, then you can paint it. But if you paint it, that could just lose that oomph. And in this case, that was the one thing the buyer, she said, can you please ask them not to touch the steps? So shout out to you. Those steps paid off. But yeah, just the cookouts that we had, the Easter egg hunts with the kids running around. You remember we had the water slide.
Our yard, like we had a dog there, Buck, who passed, and we buried him in the yard. So we had memories of him. I had just built a sleeper deck there that we barely used, but still, it was like, nice. Damn, yeah. But we had some. Remember, we had the big cookout in the yard. Yeah. Everybody was there till like 3 a.m.
Oh my God.
Fuck the yard up. Yeah. Pretzel sticks, and somebody knocked over candles that was in the concrete.
It was wax shit everywhere. But you remember you had got the firecrackers for the kids. Yeah. They loved that.
Yeah. They was sitting in my truck in the back of the bed while I was popping them.
You and the kids had a snowball fight. Remember they chased you down the street with the snowball? Yeah. Yes. So we had some really, really great times. I'm happy that, we got to move on our own terms.
We had a plethora of neighbors.
Yeah, our neighbors changed.
Neighbors on the left rotated. Our neighbors on the right stayed the same. Across the street stayed the same. But the ones on the right, on the left of us, they rotated.
3 different families in 13 years. And the homeowners, it wasn't people renting, people buying the house. It was crazy. But, I'm happy that we moved on our own terms. It wasn't like it wasn't a financial decision where like we had to get out of our house or anything like that. We had been talking about it for a while, off and on. We really talked about moving to the West Coast. I think when we visited LA, if y'all saw episode 42 was LA nights.
I don't know, 45. Maybe.
Okay, well, when we went to LA, I think that kind of like made us a little hesitant because we realized we have to do some research because it's the housing. I don't want to say LA. Somebody asked me, was LA expensive in terms of just shopping and going? I was like, I didn't find it to be expensive in terms of dinner and stuff like that, but housing in LA. So, we talked about it then. That was October. We had talked about it in the past, but right after Christmas, we talked about it and it was just like, okay, let's pull the trigger. But we didn't realize pulling that trigger was like, boop, 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 boop. Like everything started happening. And
especially when she got out of surgery. That's when it was like,
yeah.
Okay, what do we do now? Like, I'm telling the realtor,
drugged.
Like, she got surgery tomorrow. She ain't going to be able to move. He like, yeah, but we got people coming through. It's like,
they came to take the pictures.
Yeah, it's like, damn, like,
I don't even know what that man looked like, because, it was a lot.
His name was Steve. He used to be a state trooper. That's all I remember.
Yeah, it was not going. I am happy that through this process, we were able to work with, some awesome Black people. Our realtor,
Jersey Joe.
Yes.
Jersey Joe.
The process was awesome. We also worked with a Black insurance agent that he recommended, and things worked out great. And I was just happy that we got a chance, both of them being fairly new in their careers, that we trusted them with the process. We learned a lot, they learned a lot, and it all worked out in our favor, and that made me happy.
I really dug our realtor. I mean, we was kind of like chatting on the group chat a lot, and I was telling him, look, like, dude, we like in the street now. Like, you gotta find us a house. And we looked at lots of houses, and then that, because our house sold so fast, it put us in not a bind, but kind of a like, okay, how long do you want to be out of a house? Because we of course we got a buffer, like she said, we got resources to be like, okay, we can stay at a hotel a week, 2, but nobody wants to sell a house and then close a month later or 2 months later. So it's like, then you just in limbo for months. Yeah. And it was just, Joe was the man. He was the man. He learned. He remember his life coach.
Yeah,
if he didn't know something, he jumped on the phone right in front of you. It was like,
let me ask my coach.
Talked to his coach and turned around and was like, yo, my coach said this. Like, he was on it, and he did a hell of a job. And I'm all
for if you don't know something, I so respect people that say, I don't know, but I'll find out. He didn't try to feed us no BS. It was certain terminology. We would see like, hey, what does this mean? And he'd be like, I don't know. I'm going to ask my coach, and I'll let you know. And I appreciated that because, again, he was learning through the process. At the beginning, there were some things that we were doing or companies that we had used that he wasn't familiar with. So rightfully so, he suggested like, hey, I never worked with them. Do you want to work with these people? And we were like, no, we're going to work with the people that we started with. This will be an opportunity for you to learn, because not everyone will work with all of the people that you're used to. So become familiar with, we didn't tell him how to do his job, but we just thought this is a good opportunity for everybody to learn. Yeah.
So these are the people we're going to use.
Yeah.
And it turned out in the end that the people
he was happy.
Was great.
Yeah.
And he was so streamlined and great, and our contact was good with him and kept him informed. So it was awesome. But Jersey Joe is the man. Can't speak highly of him enough. Just how he carried himself and like not knowing stuff, but I'm gonna find out about it and then get back to you. And he kept us super informed, like the way he handles his business with his group chats. Keeps all the families informed of what's going on.
Yeah, he was very professional, but very personable.
Exactly, and funny. He was funny too.
And so there's certain professions.
He was great to work with. Like, just that he was a person that you would want to work with.
Yeah, like
not a stuck up person. He didn't get. And it's we would call him and be like, yo, we want to see 3-4 houses today. And he was patient.
Yeah.
No matter, it seemed like, we was bothering him or
Yeah.
damn, like whatever he was doing, he had to stop and be like,
Right.
yo, I gotta take these people
And
out
we
to
had
see
him going up and
houses.
down the highway because we were looking at houses in different counties that were a distance away. So we originally lived in one county. We were looking in a different county that was further north from our house. And then he started thinking, well, maybe, a different area. So we started looking at a place that was further south. So going from north to south. And then we said, no, we're going to go back this way. Then when we wasn't sure how things was going to work out, we considered going back the other way again.
Mm-hmm.
So he was very patient. And, there's certain professions like car salesmen or lawyers where people can kind of give you that impression that they just, they being that salesy person, but he wasn't like that at all. Like you said, he was patient. He wasn't trying to run. And he even told us in some situations, like,
the fact that we didn't know how to approach the market because we didn't know what the market was.
Yeah.
So we was, okay in offering what we was offering.
Yeah.
And he let us.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, okay, this is what you
That's
want.
what y'all want.
And then when it came back and we didn't pan out, he was like, okay, that's enough for y'all to be like, get serious about this. Like,
and he slow walked us into realizing, like, basically we had to step up our game, but we didn't know, like, in this market, I don't, for those who may follow real estate, you may already know this, we didn't, but I think everybody for the most part knows real estate, ebbs and flows. So right now is what's considered a seller's market because the inventory is low. So you have a lot of people looking to buy houses, not a lot of houses, like supply and demand. So you can, it can be profitable for sellers to sell their home because you have so many buyers, so you kind of start a bidding war of people wanting your house. Well, we didn't know. It just so happened that our timing proved to be perfect, but we didn't go into this saying, hey, we've been watching the market, it's a seller's market. We were clueless about any of that. So it kind of worked. The first house that we saw, we loved. We just loved it. And we didn't get it. Like, this house had got like over 20 offers. We didn't get it, and we realized why in the end. But I feel like everything happens for a reason. And I'm completely happy. I will say this in all transparency. Initially, I liked our house.
I loved our house when this we saw it.
I liked our house. And it's so funny. I love the outside. Which, okay, you don't live on the outside. I love the outside. The inside, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. But I think in my mind, it was always that, what if? And then I had to tell myself, girl, you could look at houses forever and you can see one you love and then be like, well, what if tomorrow another one comes on the market that you love? Or what if next week? At some point, you gotta stop.
Her teeth in something, it's a wrap.
Yeah, at some point you have to stop and be like, okay, I can't do this forever because there always may be something else. But if you like it, so then, I liked it. And then once we came back to visit a couple times and just seeing it and putting your own touch on it in the space and just thinking about the memories that you'll make in a new home, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Sleeping here that first night, I don't know. It was both things. One, sleeping in our new home. Mm-hmm. Two, sleeping on our mattress again. Because the hotel we were at was great. I didn't have I was not uncomfortable in any way.
It's a hotel.
Yeah, except for the fact that it's a hotel.
And just to think we had a little suite, so we had a little room.
Thank God.
Another bathroom, but that even got tight after 9 days. It's like, I couldn't imagine if we just would have got a room. We would have been at each other's throats.
Yeah, we couldn't.
Like, coming home from work, it was weird leaving a hotel at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. Like, the fuck is going on here?
I don't like just
coming home, it's like I gotta sit on the bed.
That's what I was about to say. Even vacations, like, I don't like just being in a hotel where it's just a room, no matter what the situation is. I need to have space because I feel like the bed, this is where we sleep. And sometimes you just may want to chill in a hotel. So if we ain't sleep, I don't want to have the bed as the only option of a place to be. So I need some kind of like living room quarters no matter what the situation. So it worked out perfect.
Yeah.
But I say that to say the hotel accommodations were great. The food was good. The staff was, very, we didn't have to deal with them much, but when we did, they were very helpful. But sleeping in our own bed, that first night was like, oh, it felt so good. Because our things too, I don't know if any of you have had experience with storage. This was our first time using a storage unit. Because we moved from our house, and like I said, I had to have another small procedure, so we actually moved from our house 2 days before we physically had to. So we moved all of our stuff into storage, and we went to the hotel so that on the day of my other medical thing, we wouldn't like be living in the streets.
Yeah.
So we went to the hospital from the hotel, but all of our things were in storage, like everything storage and our cars, were packed to the rim. So that was good, just sleeping in our own bed, but being in our house the first night, it felt good.
And I loved the house since the day I saw it. I knew, and it was in my heart, and I wanted it in my stomach bad, which is probably why I stressed about it so much, because I didn't want to lose it. And I knew she would love it. So I just was like, this is what it's going to be. And we're going to stop looking at houses. We can't keep looking at houses.
But you know what? If I remember the last time we went out looking at houses, I think we were going to see like 3 or 4 that day. One, for whatever reason, we couldn't. We saw 2, and it was like, And then our realtor was like in the process of scheduling the other ones, and we were driving home, and I was like, let's just go with that.
No, that wasn't what it was. I asked you, I was like, do we need to see the other house? And you was like, you don't want to see it? But I was like, can we go with it? And you was like, yeah. And I was like, all right. I started getting emotional.
You was like, are you serious?
Yeah,
I said,
I was like,
yes.
I'm calling Joe.
You was like,
now.
no, are you serious? I was like, yes, we can. Let's just, that's fine. And you like, oh, we don't have to see? No, because you know what? I think that was like a Saturday, and we initially said we were going to go that Sunday morning because that's when they were having an open house, or either it was Friday and Saturday, whatever it was. I was like, nah, we don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But it was. I knew what we was going with, and we in our new home. We're gonna have new memories here. Yeah, and I got my wife a house. So I'm happy. I told her when she got her surgery, we was just joking. I said to her, if you have this surgery and get well and come through with nothing, no quirks, and we ain't gotta be like, don't be sickly, like, I'll buy you a house. And it was just jokes. Like, I was just joking. Like, but look where we at now. Like, she healthy, she well, and she's sitting in a new house. So, I'm happy.
I'm happy too.
Yep. What's your beef?
As much of a good mental space that I'm in. One thing that I'm gonna that I don't like, that this is my beef, and I don't care if y'all get mad about this or not. I am so tired of having the conversation about vax. Who is and who isn't, and if you should or if you shouldn't, and I'm so tired of people feeling like they gotta, at this point it's like either you are or you are. I don't know if there's any new people deciding to do it, but if you do, it's your business. It don't have to be announced. And it's annoying for people to feel like even on like Facebook, the picture, like when people have the frame that says, I got my vaccination. Are you serious? Like, why do you have to announce that to the world? That's a personal decision that you made. And I'll tell y'all this, I don't have any conversation with anybody that I confirm or deny, because it's nobody's business that I even want to participate in those conversations. It's a choice that I made we made, and y'all know just from the beginning, you know, what my feelings were about it. But even in like public spaces, when people just decide they want to have the conversation about it, why? Why do strangers need to know whether you did or you didn't, or why you feel that you should or you shouldn't? It is your personal business. Do you tell us when you went and got a depot shot? Like,
it's pack mentality though. I agree with what you're saying. Like, I don't want to hear it anymore either. But it's pack mentality. It's the thing of people accept this vaccine as being on the safe side. So if I'm around people and I don't have a mask on, it's like I want to put that in the air that I'm vaxxed, because it kind of puts people at ease for whatever reason. You know, whether it's right or wrong, for whatever reason they choose or have inside them, it puts them at ease. So now that's like the thing in conversation, annoying or not. Okay, if you ain't got no mask on, or if you say you vaxxed, then I'm gonna say I'm vaxxed, or you say, you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. It's like just pack mentality. It's what, you know, it's what humans do. Is it annoying? Yes, I agree with you. But I'm sure that's the reason behind it. It's just pack mentality. People want to be a part of the group.
Yeah, I get it. It's just, yeah, it's very annoying. Like, at this point, it's your decision. You grown. And again, like, you don't have to wave the vaccination flag.
Wave the non-vaccination flag.
Yeah. Or, you know, people started talking like, no, I ain't vaccinated. I had COVID. I'm fine. Like,
yeah.
Okay,
then you start disclosing what sickness you had. I had COVID. I had it twice.
Yeah, but everybody who had it isn't fine. And some people who got vaccinated still got it. So it's really nothing that you can say to substantiate getting it or not getting it. Because again, some people have not had the vaccine and they haven't been sick, or they've not had the vaccine, they had COVID and they, you know, it was mild. Some people got vaccinated and still got it. Like, it's nothing you can say to substantiate getting it or not getting it at this point, because we all know we don't know. Like, we know that we don't know at this point. We're just going along with what we think is right and hope that it's right. But let's mute the conversation. That's just my beef.
Let's hit the beef with a little bit more.
Mute the conversation.
Yeah, a little bit more demonstrative, you know.
Yes.
Like this my motherfucking beef out here.
I don't talk like that.
3 grams.
What's your beef?
I don't have no beef.
Oh.
You ain't had no beef last week.
That's because you Zen Walt.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good. You don't always have to have a beef.
I'm enjoying the smell of my new home.
You don't always have to have a beef. That's good.
Nope. 3 grams. Russia, you invaded Ukraine. Invade the Ukraine.
And what if that's offensive to? Now, see, I don't know if that's a Russian accent or a Ukrainian accent, because they kind of sound the same. Okay.
Yeah.
So what would your Russian accent sound like?
Me on vodka.
Okay, but it's not a laughing matter.
No.
Yeah.
It's not the war isn't a laughing matter. I don't even personally know why all of a sudden they're invading the Ukraine. Like, I know the Ukraine's always been small under Russia. And even when I was little and when Russia wasn't Russia. Well, I mean, they always been Russia, but you know,
but it was
like
the Soviet Union,
yeah, Soviet Union and all that shit. They still wanted a piece of Ukraine, but
let's go back. During that time, Ukraine was a part of the Soviet Union, and then when they became Russia, it broke off.
Right, and then ever since then
they wanted them back.
Right, to make them not Ukraine no more.
Right, because Ukraine,
So what, are they not going to be Ukrainian if you take back the country? They're going to be Russian.
Yeah.
They're still going to be Ukrainian people.
I mean, they are, but it's kind of like the same what happened with.
They'll be just living under a Russian regime, but I'm still Ukrainian.
But it's kind of like what happened with Yugoslavia, where they broke up, where like there was the war there, and now it's Serbia and Croatia. It's no more Yugoslavia, so it's kind of.
But it's still Yugoslavian people.
Well, of course, because you know the history of it, they're going to refer to themselves, you know, as Yugoslavian,
but they're not going to say we're Serbian or we're
Well, see, and I don't want to act like I know. I like geography, but I don't want to act like I know all the logistics about the war and all that stuff. But you do have some people that will identify themselves as Serbian or as Croatian,
even though they were Yugoslavian and had Yugoslavian took from them.
But I think Yugoslavia was made up of Serbians and Croatians, I think. So, I mean, you kind of have...
Right, but when you have, like, Yugoslavia or the Ukraine, of course you have a few generations of people who are just Ukraine. Like, that's all they know.
Right.
So to take it back, it's like we're still should identify as who we are. Like, because we're not Serbian, we're not Croatian, we're Yugoslavian, or we're not Russian, we're Ukraine.
But again, I don't know if it's a situation where the people were at war. You might be like, I ain't one of them. You ain't one of me. I'm Serbian. You Croatian.
I'm Yugoslavian.
Now I will say, as far as Russia and the Ukraine, I don't think Putin cares about what the people want to identify themselves as. The purpose is to be able to take advantage of the industrialization that Ukraine offers. Like, and I don't know all the numbers, but they're the third largest European country. They're filled with natural resources, petroleum, magnesium, that kind of stuff, ore. So that's really what it is. Russia just wants to be able to
take the elements.
Exactly. It's advantageous for them to be now part of Russia if Russia takes over. But we have to look at the downstream impact of what the war is going to do. And for me, the saddest part is always the innocent lives that are lost in war.
Shout out to the Ukrainian people out there. Hold your heads up. I know that sounds like weak at a time of war, but I don't know what else to say. But shouts out to the Ukrainian
Prayers
people.
out for those people, yeah.
The second gram, the first condom for anal sex has been FDA approved. And it's a condom that is going to control infections, be less infectious for booty stabbing.
I'm confused. The condoms that are out now...
They're for vaginas. It's not for butt.
Really?
Yes, this is the first anal sex FDA approved condom. All the rest of them has been for vagina.
So what is the difference?
The difference that I just told you. This is something on the condom that makes transferring infections from the anal cavity less infectious. The other condoms, the ribs, the magnums, the lifestyles, they didn't have this chemical on them to stop sex from the vagina to the anus. These condoms do.
So, okay. So are you saying...
You can have anal sex and have vaginal sex without...
Ew.
Transferring.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's the first FDA approved anal condom.
So it's going to kill, like, poop germs.
Yeah. Or not have poop attached to them like a regular condom would.
So I'll just say this. Street code or whatever you want to call it, you don't go from the butt to the vagina. That's a no-no.
Yeah, but these condoms are saying you can.
I don't care. That's a no-no. I don't care.
I know.
I don't
these
care.
Condoms are saying that it's a good thing.
No. You don't go. Once you go to the back, you stay there. I mean, I ain't putting our business out there. That ain't our life. But if that's your life, that's the rule. Once you go to the back, you stay there. You cannot come back to the front until the next session. Sorry. So I don't care what they created to kill these poop germs. And then, that's just new chemicals and stuff. So now you're killing. Nah, it's nothing that you going to tell me that you're going to convince me that let's be grown up. That fecal matter, that there's some kind of chemical that's going to kill any bacteria from fecal matter.
It's not killing. Let's say like a lifestyle condom. You have sex anally. and you pull it out and it's like poop all over it, smeared all over it. And they say this condom has a chemical on it where, say, poop won't necessarily grab on it like that, and maybe it's an antibiotic already lined in the plastic, like, so when it gets wet, some antibiotics come out where you don't transfer infection in case poop goes there. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
I don't even know how to spell condom, so it's not like it's not like it's my thing. You know what I'm saying? So
that's gross. That is really, and not only that, let's think about this too, ladies. You know, if that's your life, that's your business. I ain't here to tell nobody what to do. But when you think about what chemical now is being inserted into you, you know, for the safety of being able to go from the back to the front, you know, this chemical killing whatever germ or stopping, preventing. What is the chemical? Like now it's in your butt.
Maybe it's just like steroid, like Z-Pack or something.
Who wants?
I don't know, babe. I don't know. This can go on for. It's just a gram. You can go on for hours.
I know, but this is the last thing I'm gonna say. You know how, and I've heard this before, right? This is crazy. People who insert alcohol up their butt, or like people that do drugs and they inject in their anus, and I've
overdose easily.
Yeah, because your body absorbs it so much quicker in your anus. So again, just thinking whatever these chemicals are.
It's FDA approved, so they put it up somebody's ass before hundreds of times, maybe thousands of times before the FDA approves it. Because the FDA
has never approved anything that's killed people.
Oh my God! Next to the next gram, woman got 41 years for serving semen-filled cupcakes to kids in her classroom. She was a teacher, and her husband was a deputy sheriff, and they raped a child. I don't even know if they named the child or know where the child came from, but pornography pictures of them naked with the child and weird sexual positions with the child, and then video of her serving cupcakes, semen-filled cupcakes to her students at school. She got 41 years in prison for that.
So, that's not enough time. She should never see the light of day. You know, if you know me, you know I'm not a person to wish death on anybody, and I ain't going to start now. But she should never be able to enjoy any niceties of life. This is, to me, just one of those situations where you hear and it's like, yep, the world's coming to an end. Like, people are getting sicker.
Yeah,
it's coming to an end.
I think that's the sickest shit I've ever heard. No.
I don't want to say it's the sickest, but it's pretty gross.
The 33-year-old dad years ago who raped his 4-month-old daughter. That and this is probably the sickest things I've ever heard.
I mean, it's crazy. It's disgusting that you did that to kids. Like, semen-filled, like, I don't even know where you start. Like, do you put it in the batter? Is it in the icing? You know, do you put it on top of the cup? Like, you know how people inject cupcakes with filling? Like, I don't even know where you even do that or how. It doesn't even matter. It's just one of those reminders. It's like, yeah, Jesus on his way back, because this world is getting crazy and crazy.
To think up some shit like that, like where your mind got to be. You don't even know who you walking down the street next to. A motherfucker think up some shit like that. You know, the lady in the market that's behind you can be filling up cupcakes with semen and feeding them to kids.
What I will, the saddest part about this story to me is the fact that they don't know, because they saw the video of the child rape, or the video or pictures. They don't know who the child was. And my thing is, okay, so in reading the story, the lady got a plea deal because she told on her husband. Mm-hmm. But part of that should have been, she should have been required to disclose who is this kid.
Who's the baby.
Because now this person can be out there. I mean, I don't know how long ago it was, if they're grown now. It doesn't even matter. Like, was it a niece or a nephew?
It happened in 2019. So it's not long ago.
I mean, so they're not grown, but like, was it a niece or a nephew?
And I think they said at the time the kid was 9.
That's the sad. That's horrible.
Yeah.
That should have been required. They dropped the ball on that. The justice, like that ain't the only thing they dropped the ball on. If we want to talk about the justice system, but that should have been required for her to disclose that.
It's fucked up. Sick people in the world.
What's
That's
the
the
third
type
brand?
of person they should die. That was 3. Ukraine, 41-year-old butt sex kind of.
Oh yeah, that was 3. Okay.
Yep. Act 2 the podcast, episode 59. Wrapping up. Again, people, you can catch your boy International Walt and the co-hosts with the mostest on
act2thepodcast.com, Instagram, which is at act2_the podcast. On Facebook, Act2 the podcast is the page. YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Anchor, Radio Public, and TikTok.
Yep, there you go. All 10 platforms. We're gonna fucking still coming after that Apple. Act 2 the podcast, episode 59. If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, you should.